Gotta keep on breathing if you wanna make sense of it all. We will not fall.
Good. So you might need, well, you will need a couple of blocks today and a bolster maybe. Yes, a bolster and 2 blocks. Let's just say that. You will need a bolster and 2 blocks today for your practice. This is what I'm going to call my human light practice. It's a yin-yang rest. So you're getting a bit of everything, a bit of yin, a bit of yang, and a bit of restorative right at the end. So it sets you up for the season. And we are going to start in supported fish. So you can use your blocks, or you might like to use a bolster for your supported fish. But what I would suggest is that if you can use your blocks, you use your bolster underneath your knees. And this is your first yin posture. So coming back nice and gently onto the blocks, making sure that the corners aren't digging in anywhere. It's comfortable underneath the spine. The rib cage just molds itself around. And you give all of your weight into those props. Let the head be supported on a higher level of the block, and then the bolster can come underneath the knees. You might like to take the legs straight. You might like to take butterfly pose. So arms can be out by the sides of your body. Relax the elbows down. Make sure the shoulders are relaxed and the palms are face up towards the sky. And because this is a morning practice, you might want to keep the eyes open. You might want to embrace the light after you've been asleep with the eyes closed. So if you are keeping the eyes open, just have a soft gaze, focusing at something just above you, finding that drishti. And if you close the eyes, just draw the focus in towards the third eye, the area be just between the eyebrows, the area of foresight, of intuition, and of clarity. So allow yourself now to settle into your first yin posture, supported fish. And we have had the winter solstice, so now we are going to start to see longer days. This is when we bring in the light. And today is actually a celebration as well. This is a humanist celebration today, the Human Light Day. A day of compassion, humanity, reason, kindness, and hope. All of the things that we would hope to have and give at this time of the year, whether you're a humanist or any other faith or belief. It's all of those things that at this time of the year we like to give and receive. And what I thought I liked about was the actual presence of light. Your inner light shines through. So just for a moment, just visualize the light within you is shining bright light. And breathe in the light. Imagine and visualize that each breath you take in, you're bringing in brighter light. feeding the energy of that light inside you, and every breath out, you're giving that light to others. You're sharing that light. So find the steadiness of your inhales and exhales of light. Light shines through a stained glass window, painting a rainbow of color on the wall. Without the sun's light, the colors look less vibrant. The window's beauty is more apparent when it is illuminated. We too are more vibrant when we allow our inner light to shine. Don't let your light be dulled by circumstances. You can still shine when things are tough. Your soul is a beacon to bring you back to joy and remind you that you have everything you need. So really the intention of our practice today and finding your own personal intention is to find your inner light. Let that light shine through. And each and every time that we come to practice, we say to one another, Namaste. I bow to the light in you. So repeat that internally now to yourself. Namaste. 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 Beginning to take a few deeper breaths as you prepare to come out of your posture of supported fish, just bringing some movement back into the hands, into the wrists, into the toes, into the ankles, and just gently bringing the feet back up onto the bolster and just resting them there lightly with the knees bent. Slide the bolster away, let the legs go long, and then just press into the forearms as you gently lift the head, looking along the body. And just take a moment to just open the chest there, open the heart. Imagine again, this heart space is just emanating your own inner light. And then you can take away those blocks and just lie down on your back. Just take a moment to feel that there's nothing underneath you, no blocks. And you can feel completely relaxed on the earth. Draw the knees gently in towards the belly, in towards the chest. Roll from side to side. Circle the knees around, whatever feels good this morning. I've put you straight into a posture with props already. So just notice how the body responds after a night's rest. Moving the hips, moving the knees, stretching the arms, giving yourself a big yawn, whatever you need. And then rolling over to one side, gently bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. And let's come into our breathing technique of Nadi Shodhana. Nadi Shodhana is alternate nostril breathing. Hello, Wesley. You come to join breathing. Hi. So using the right hand, and this is where we really feel that we're breathing in the light through each nostril and we're exhaling that light through each nostril. So the hands either come up towards the third eye, which is always a nice feeling. You bring that light into the Ajna chakra, or you might bring them down to the base of your thumb. Hello. So breathing in through both and exhaling through both. Closing off the right nostril with the thumb. Inhale, light through left. Close it off. Exhale out of the right. Inhale through right. Close it off. Exhale through the left. So it's always this visualization of light in, coming, and going out. Inhale left. Deep, long, slow, deep breath. Close it off. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. I'll leave you for a few more rounds, your own pace, your own timing, your own rhythm. Constantly feeling that breath of light coming in and that breath of light leaving the body. My cat has literally just sat on the laptop in front of the camera. Goodness me. Let's take one last round, one last cycle whilst I get Wesley off the laptop. And exhaling out of the left nostril. And breathing normally through both. Clearly in a mischievous mood today. Come here. Coming into our second posture, which is a seated forward fold. With or without cat. You can sit on a bolster or a block here if you like. You can use the props to rest the head. But sitting nice and tall, you can, of course, put a bolster underneath the knees. And this isn't, you're not over-forcing anything this morning. We are simply warming up through our yin postures. So we're not activating any muscles. We're not contracting. We're thinking deeper into the connective tissues, into the joints of the body. Allowing the head and the neck to soften and relax. Now in this posture, as the head is bowed, you can breathe through the apex of your spine, through the back of your heart space. A lot of the practice today will be a visualization. So here you can actually visualize the light, again, at the back of your body, not necessarily in the front. Feel the spine expanding, rib cage expanding. And your light expanding. Trying not to let the mind wander, finding distractive thoughts, but remaining present to sensations that you feel whilst you're being here on your mat, bringing yourself back into this moment. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Keeping the chin towards the chest as you start to peel yourself back up to seated, slowly rolling through each and every vertebra, bringing the shoulders back up in line with the hips, and then gently lifting the gaze. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Feel this space from earlobes to collarbone. Sit nice and tall. Feel the spine is long. And then just bring the hands back behind you. Little counter stretch here. Just draw the elbows in, open the chest, lift the gaze, little back bend. And bring yourself back into center. You can keep the hands behind you and just bring the knees in and windscreen wiper them out right and left. Wesley clearly got bored, so he left the room. And then coming into wide leg. So this is our side stretch. So you don't have to make this wide leg too long. You can use a block here if you like. We're going to be taking a side stretch to each extended leg and placing the arm down either onto the mat or onto the block. So open up the side body here. Try not to round the rib cage forward. And your choice, of course, is to introduce the arm reaching up and over and letting that arm rest on the head. So depending on your neck, you can look down towards the underneath arm, or you can look up towards the sky underneath the upper arm. Try to ground yourself through the back sit bone. So both sit bones are grounded equally, even though most of the weight is coming towards that extended leg. Try to relax into the feet, the legs. Again, no muscle contraction, simply working towards the connective tissue in the joints here. Keeping the lift in the torso, trying not to collapse. Using the upper arm as a little bit of extra weight, of course. And feel yourself getting deeper and deeper into that side stretch. Just a few last breaths here. I'm not here as long as some of the other postures. Just to get into the side body. Release the hand first of all. And carefully lift the head. So to avoid that you're using the neck to bring yourself back up to center. Take a moment to respond before going to the other side. And again, you can use a block or a bolster to rest the arm on, or the arm might just rest on the leg. Start to turn the rib cage and open up the side body, lifting up the arm and resting the elbow on top of the head. Again, choosing the gaze where it needs to be. Really allowing yourself to succumb to gravity here. Letting the head, the body, rest over to the extended leg. And notice the breath in each of these postures has probably changed. We've had a back extension, we've had a forward flexion. Now into our lateral stretches. So notice the breath, remembering breathing in light, exhaling light. Just a few more breaths here. Long, slow, deep inhales and exhales. Release the upper arm first. Then support the head and the neck. And lift yourself back up into the center. Take a moment just to sit upright. Feel that you are grounding through the sit bones, but you're rising through the crown of the head. And lift the knees, bring the legs into the center, give yourself a little hug, resting hands over the ankles, softening through the head, the neck, the spine. Roll up through the spine. Right leg stays out in front of you. Left leg comes across for a little twist. So that foot can be by the thigh, it can be by the calf. Starting to turn towards the bent knee, and maybe you hug or maybe you place the elbow over the knee. Yeah, and this is not an active stretch. This is much more of a yin, so try not to fight any muscle engagement here. Hand goes back to support you, and you can always look forward to the extended leg, which allows the neck a little bit of softness. So the last of our spinal movements is our rotation. So feeling the twist into the torso, all the way from the top of the neck, right down to the base of the spine. Breathe into the twist. Breathe out as you deepen the rotation. Bringing yourself back into center. Give a little counter twist to the opposite side. Just a simple release. Bring yourself back into center and change legs. This is our last yin posture before we come into the yang section. So just finding your rotation on the opposite side. Again, not fighting anything here. Keeping the spine long, shoulders relaxed, facial expression relaxed. Rooting through to the earth, rising to the sky. Breathing in, come back into center. Keep the rotation going to the opposite side just for a counter twist. And bring yourself back into center. Give the legs a little shake out if you need. Swing them around behind you. Let's take our cat and cow. Start to get into the breath with the movement. Inhale into your cow. Exhale, rounding into cat. And just notice here, as we start to really bring movement in, notice how the body starts to respond after those yin postures. Get a little bit more movement in. You can come forward over the wrists, pulling yourself back to child's pose, rounding up into cat. So come forward as you breathe in, bend the elbows, pull back the hips, round the spine, and then pull back. So you're getting a bit of strength into the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders, into the spine, into the hips, the pelvis. And the last time we pull back, we stay in child's pose. So give yourself the room to breathe, lift up, lengthen, and reach the fingertips away as you melt the chest and belly down over the thighs. The head comes down to the mat. Take a moment here as you just feel the third eye, the area of light resting on the earth. Almost visualize light appearing between the eyebrows. Return back to your own intention. Finding those qualities at this time of the year: hope, compassion, reason, kindness, humanity. And giving and receiving light to yourself and to others. Lifting up into tabletop, bringing the right foot forward. Coming into your lizard lunge, you might like the foot forward, or you might like to wing it out to the side. You can, of course, use blocks here to put the hands on, or you might just come down onto the fingertips. Just give yourself a little sway, left and right. Let's start to circle backwards and forwards, pulling hip back, dropping forward towards the heel. And this can be your own pace. Get into those hips a little bit. Hamstrings, hip flexors. Find stillness here. So opening up the chest, resting shoulders down the back, drawing in the abdomen towards the lower back, and let it all hang out. Relax the facial expression. Let's pull back, keeping the foot there, if you've chosen that winged variation, keep the toe winged. Pull back into monkey, exhale the body, and that comes on the inside of that right thigh. Let the head rest down towards the mat. Take a few breaths there in that stretch. Come forward once more, dropping hips into lizard. Pull back into monkey, half monkey. Drop forward once more. Pull back once more. Lifting the toes up of that extended leg. Now reach the fingertips forward of the mat. So you're on spider tips here. And drop the body a little bit more if you need to. Soften and bend into that extended leg. Not to pull the hips too far back towards the heel there above the knee. Let the body melt between the arms. And nice and slowly stay low. As you bend the front knee, you're coming all the way down into a low, low, low lizard. Maybe you come down onto the forearms or onto blocks. So here, just drop the left hip just a little bit. So you're going a bit skewish. So you're dropping the left hip, coming down onto one elbow, one forearm, and take the right hand and just push out that right thigh. This might be an opportunity to come onto the outer edge of your right foot, opening up that knee, opening up the chest. So it's a variation of a monkey twist, lifting up the chest, lifting up the gaze. Keep that hand on that knee for a moment, and then take the hand behind you and just rest it onto the sacrum. So the thigh, the hip of the left leg are down on the mat. You're opening up the chest. Nice and slowly bring the right arm back. Come back up onto your forearms or onto the blocks. Tuck the back toe. And then come forward and backwards. Staying low, hands come down, and then push yourself up into a high lizard. Again, blocks, fingertips, or onto the palms. Keep that back leg lifted if you can. And again, start pushing backwards and forwards on the toe beds. You're reaching the heel back behind you. So yes, there is strength building and flexibility. And then gently drop the knee. This is where we bring the right foot into the center. So in line with the hip. And then lift the torso, lift the belly, and exhale over. So we're going in a nice little straight line now. You can relax the back toes, bringing the head down towards the knee or the shin. Deep half monkey stretch. And then a little twist here, a little revolved half monkey. So left hand stays down, right hand may come to the sacrum as you twist the torso to the right thigh, and maybe the right arm lifts up towards the sky as if somebody's pulling your fingers up, up, up. Lift, lift, lift into the armpit and the chest. Bring yourself back into center. This is where the blocks come in handy. We're going to slide that right heel forward into Hanumanasana. Slide, slide, slide. Don't go too deep. Just warming up. Exhale. Few breaths. Don't have to go all the way. Keep the chest lifted. Look forward, smile. And slowly bring it back. The right hand comes on the inside and you just sweep that leg back. Give it a little shake out. Figure of 8. Well done. Ooh. Left side. The left leg comes forward. Again, choosing your option, whether that foot goes straight to the front or you can start to wing it out to the side. So start to feel that you're coming into the left leg, moving hips right and left. And then introducing those circles. Hips come towards the heel and they pull back. And then starting to pull back. So keeping the foot where it is on the outer edge of the mat. Pulling back, lifting toes. Exhaling. Dropping forward, bending left knee. Lifting chest. Pulling back. Lifting toes. Bending that front knee if you need. So we do that 3 times. And then keeping that left leg out to the side, reach the fingertips forward and exhale. The chest comes down on the inside of that thigh. Relax the head between the biceps. Staying nice and low, you're just simply bending the left knee, bringing yourself all the way down onto forearms or onto the blocks. You can stay on the hands if you need to. Dropping both shoulders equally, so both forearms are grounded. Then tucking. Oh no, sorry, just before we do that, we drop the right hip down. So we turn onto that right forearm and the left hand comes to the left knee. You start to push that knee out just a little bit. So start to twist into the torso. The hand might come to the base of the sacrum. Open, open, open the chest. Keep pressing into that forearm. Bit of strength needed there in that right shoulder. And gently bring yourself back into the center, tucking the back toe, lifting the knee if that feels good, and rocking forwards and backwards. Really come onto the tip of the big toe and push back through the heel as much as you can. Get that foot and ankle stretch. Coming up back into your high lizard, either on blocks, fingertips or palms. Drop hips, keep the chest nice and open, draw navel in, push that back extended heel away from you. Keep the knee lifted if you can, and then gently drop it down. Bring the left in towards the center. Lift up the chest, fold, and exhale over the leg. Let the head relax down towards the shin. Right hand stays where it is, revolved half monkey coming up. So left hand comes to the sacrum. You're going to give that sacrum a little press as you open the left side of the body. The gaze can always be down at the lower leg. Keep digging in that heel, pulling those toes back, and maybe the arm reaches up. Again, someone is pulling those fingers higher, higher, higher. Bring yourself back into the center, nice and steady. Slowly slide that left heel forward. Use your blocks if you need. Only come as far as is comfortable to hold for 3 to 4 breaths. Keep the chest lifted, gaze is lifted. Relaxed facial expression, giving yourself a smile. Slowly, slowly, slowly pull the heel back. Hand comes on the inside and you just sweep it back behind you. Wow, work out that hip. Give a few little figure of eights. Let's take it into a wide leg child's pose. Knees go wide, big toes to touch. Exhale the body down. So the left hand can come across to the right hand and you just interlace the fingers on top of one another and you're pulling back the left hip here. So it's just a gentle side stretch. You feel the stretch down the left side of the body. Bring the left hand back to the outer edge and the right hand crosses. They interlace on top of one another and the head comes down between the biceps as you pull back right hip to right heel. Feel the stretch from little finger right back to the hip. Bring yourself back into center. Lift up into tabletop once more. Just a round of cat and cow here. Notice how the spine might be a little bit more freer. Tucking toes. Pressing away through the palms, lifting the knees and keeping the belly and the chest back towards the thighs. Come into downward facing dog, pedaling out, releasing one heel at a time. And then exhaling both heels together, pressing chest back towards the heels. Relax the ears, relax the head. Relax the hair, relax the neck. Draw the abdomen in towards the spine. Find a steady breath here. If you need to, you can come down to tabletop or to child's pose. But if you can, find stillness, calm in downward dog. Looking forward to the hands. Right foot comes between the hands. And we come into a low lunge this time. So bringing the hands up onto the knee, sinking the hips forward, and then reaching the arms up. Taking hold of the left wrist, just side stretch over to your right. Holding the stretch. Breathing into the side body. Bring back into center, take the right wrist and stretch over to the left. Sink the hips at the same time. Keep the side body stretch. Breathing. Bring back into center. Sweep the arms forward. So the belly comes down to the thighs and you're reaching long, and then pull it back. Open the chest, open the heart. Repeat that twice more. Exhale, hands sweep forward. Inhale, they pull back. Beautiful. Nice waves with the arms. When you come back, you stay into the back bend, reaching the hands up and back behind you. The palms may come together or the palms face one another. You're in an Anjanasana, low crescent lunge, sinking hips towards the front heel, reaching the thumbs back. Lift the navel, lift the heart. Good. Reach the hands down, tuck the back toe, and pull back into a high pyramid. Again, blocks are there if you need them. Keep the spine long for a moment and just feel the balance there. So pulling left hip forward, right hip back. And then exhale over the right thigh. Gently bending into that right knee. We're going to come up into a revolved half moon from here. So you can, of course, use a block in front of you and just stepping forward, lifting back leg. Right hand comes to sacrum, twisting towards the front right thigh and lifting up that right arm. Tricky to do a revolved half moon in a loft space, but I can still get there. Keep lifting that back leg, strong supporting leg. Open the chest to the side of your mat. Lower that foot and take a plank. Find a connecting vinyasa of choice. Press back into downward facing dog. Find the breath. Find the calm. You know what we're doing on the left, looking forward. Left leg comes through. Drop the back knee. Bring the hands first to the thigh. Sink the hips. Reach the arms up. So straight forward. Low lunge, crescent lunge here. Take the right wrist, side stretch over to the left. And what happens with that left knee, notice where it goes. Try to keep that left knee pointing, driving forward. Bring center, catch hold of the left wrist and side stretch over. Couple of breaths. Bring back into center. We release the hands. They circle all the way forward. So the belly comes all the way down over the thighs. You reach the arms forward like you're grabbing something. And exhale, open it up. So twice more. Sweep it forward. And open it back up. Last time, sweep it forward. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And open it up. And then this is where you come into that back bend. So you're gazing towards the hands. Hands might come together. You're in a back bend here and then start to sink the hips forward. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Lift the chest, lift the heart, reach the thumbs back. Beautiful. Reach the hands down, tuck the back toe. Come into that high pyramid. Using the blocks if necessary. Body is long first of all. So you're really pushing back through the back heel and soften into the front knee if you need. Exhale, belly, chest down, head resting down towards the shin. Notice where the stretch comes for you as you pull the right hip forward, left hip back just a little more. Deep exhale, softening even more over that left leg. Preparing to come into the balance, bending the knee, using the block in front of you. I'm going to shuffle back a little bit. And then coming into that revolved half moon, opening up to the left side of your mat, lifting back leg, turning, rotating chest, and lifting top arm. Fantastic. Breathing. Slowly bring yourself back into center. Release the back foot with control. The hands come down. Left foot joins right for the plank. And you're connecting vinyasa. Back into downward facing dog. Exhaling. Taking a few breaths. Walking the hands back towards the feet. Get grounded through all of the sole of the foot. And then exhale, full Uttanasana. Relaxing the hands down. Lifting sit bones, making sure that the head is relaxed and soft. No tension in the face, the head or the neck. And then let's go to Malasana. So lifting the gaze, heel toe the feet out to the wider edges and slowly dropping hips between the heels, bringing the hands into the heart center. Take a moment to breathe. And keeping the knees where they are, reaching the fingertips forward. So dropping hips as much as you can, rounding through the spine, dropping ears between the biceps, keeping low in the squat, reaching forward. You're going to have to push the knees back yourselves because the elbows aren't there to assist you. Keep drawing navel up towards the spine, trying not to let it hang out. And then lifting the hips, turning the feet inwards. And let's step forward with the right leg, turning to the side of your mat. So you're going to come into your wide leg forward fold in a moment. So turning to the left side of your mat, fingertips are on the mat or on blocks. Lift the abdomen, spine is nice and straight. And just make sure that the weight is equal in the whole of the feet. Rock forwards, rock back, turn the heels out, toes inwards. Exhale, melt and fold. From here, we drop into our side squats, our skandasana. So moving across to the right knee, turning that right foot out, left foot stays pointing forward, dropping into side squat. Go as deep as is comfortable. Bring the hands down, slide back, turn the toes in, turn the left foot out. Exhale, back into the side squat on the other side. Hands come down, bring you back into center. Reach out once more. This time, the hands come through the legs. Palms are face down. You're reaching the fingertips back behind you, clawing your way through your legs. Maybe the head comes down onto a block or to the mat, but you're pulling the fingers away. Little deeper stretch there, nice and slowly. Bring the hands back. Turn towards the front right foot And then release the left knee and bring the right knee back. Take a child's pose, bring the hands back to the hips and exhale. Nice and slowly rolling up through the spine. Bring yourself to kneel, a little quad stretch, not forgetting those babies. So bringing the hands back behind you, they can go on fingertips or onto blocks. Widen the knees if you need to, and start to lift the hips, looking along the body or up to the sky. Keep the chest nice and open, roll the shoulders open here. Push the pelvis forward and breathe. Front, back, body. Nice and slowly release, hips back. Bring yourself to center, bring the hands around, palms face up. Just take a moment to slow down. That is your yang section. We now move into the restorative part before we close in our Shavasana. So this is where you'll need a bolster and 2 blocks. Swinging the legs around in front of you, shuffling forward on the mat. And coming down to lie on your back. So just gently draw the knees in towards the chest and roll out and massage the spine. So a lot of spinal work again through the practice in those revolves, in the Hanumanasas, in the lizard lunges, in the back bends of the Anjanasanas, the crescent lunges, all of them. Really gain strength into the spine and mobility. But never forgetting the legs. Of course, they've done all the work. Take the fingertips up onto the top of the shins and just guide the knees out to the side. Just notice how the hips have really mobilized after your lunges. Yeah, monkeys. Bring back into center. And windscreen wiper the knees out to the side. So the feet come down onto the mat, just dropping both knees right. Staying there for a few breaths. Breathe into center. Exhale, let the knees drop to the left. Bring center. This time you can introduce the head and the neck. So looking towards the left palm as the knees go right. This is where we really slow everything down. Bring the head back into center, and then as the knees come back in, head goes right, knees go left. Head comes center, knees come center. Bring the hands by the side of you and just pelvic tilt a few times, just releasing into the lower back. So you don't have to come all the way up into a full bridge. It's just mobilizing into the pelvis, lower back and hips. So let's come into our first restorative posture, which is our Stonehenge. Seeing as we had a winter solstice and they opened up the henge, which was fabulous. So, and they even got a sunrise, which was amazing. So placing your 2 blocks, and then you get your bolster and you place your bolster on the top. So make sure that's nice and stable because the legs are going to go up. There we go. So lying back down, your buttocks come fairly close, and then make sure that the knees are resting against there. The feet are relaxed. And the hands can be by the side of the body. Make sure that you lift up a little bit through the lower back, the middle back, and the upper back so that you spread the entire spine out. And really allow the legs to become heavy on top of the bolster. Let the feet relax and soften through the face. Again, you can choose that soft gaze, looking up above you at something, or you can close the eyes. I have a beautiful view actually through the skylight of fluffy clouds. Not dense, thick clouds, but fluffy clouds allowing the light in. And of course, it's called a skylight for good reason. So as you lie here now, coming to the end of our practice today together. Today is Human Light Day. Reminding yourselves of qualities that you wish to receive and also to give. Not just at this time of the year, but at any time of the year. Always find your inner light, share your inner light, and feed your inner light. Bringing the focus to the third eye. Notice what you see there. Notice what you visualize there. Maybe bright light. Breathe into that light. Exhale the darkness. Nice and slowly wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, circle the wrists, circle the ankles. If you can, just bring the feet back up on top of the bolster. Just rest the heels. And then lift the legs and the arms straight up to the sky, into your dead bug. Feel the weight of the legs bearing into the earth. Feel the weight of the arms bearing into the earth. And then relax and release. Take your time to come into Shavasana. That is your final restorative pose. So again, you can use the bolster underneath your knees. You might like to have a blanket nearby to keep warm or under the head. Make sure those knees are resting on comfortably on top of the bolster, and then you can just stretch the legs out and relax the heels down. The toes might naturally just fall out to the sides, and the arms can come out to the side. And again, just nestle into your mat as if you're nestling this little, kind of indentation into sand. And as you come into Shavasana, this is the time for recuperation. It's a time for restoration. It's a time for regeneration. And try to be consciously aware that you are in the present, that you are still here, that you are not drifting off into to-do lists. This is closing, it's sealing the benefits of your practice today. And give yourself the permission to slow down and rest. You don't have to be anywhere else. You don't have to think of anything else. Be here with your own inner light. Just take a deeper breath in and a slow, long, deep breath out, relaxing everything, letting go of all tension and tightness. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Moving ankles, wrists, moving the head and the neck. Gently lifting the arms up above the head, giving yourself a big stretch and stretching the feet away. As if someone's pulling your toes and pulling your fingers. Slowly bring the arms back. And then bring the right foot, followed by the left, back up on top of the bolster if you had one. Drop the knees just gently in towards one another and the hands just rest on the belly. Then draw the knees in. Roll and massage out a little. And you can push your bolster away and just roll to one side. And just stay on one side for a moment. This is also a restorative rest pose. Taking time to press away from the earth. Bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. Bring the hands into the heart center, Anjali Mudra. Sitting nice and tall. Check in with yourself. Notice how you feel. Return back to your own intention. Returning back to the theme of our practice today, finding inner light, never letting your light be dimmed by circumstances. Always know that it's always there. We'll end our practice with a collective mantra of Om. Breathing out. Take a deep breath in. Om. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. Om Shanti.